What is up, YouTube land? It is I, Red is Power, back with another toy review, and today it is number 71, the long-awaited, and somehow by the grace of God himself, he actually gave me this figure. Boom! 2010 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers White Ranger. The figure that never saw daylight in retail. And by retail, I mean Walmart, Target, KB Toys if they're still around, Kmart, Toys R Us, those kind of stores. Hell, even sometimes, actually, believe it or not, Best Buy. So, yes, I am so thrilled to finally have this figure, even though I did pay the price. What can I say? I have been given a gift. This is truly an extraordinary figure that I've been wanting to review, and a lot of you have been asking me to review this figure ever since I did Lord Zed. So we're going to rip right through this package, but first let's take a look at the back and see what's available with this wave, which of course was the fall line, which, to be honest, never really saw retailers. So there's Lord Zed. I have him. Enough is enough. We don't want to go through this. It's review time, or, you know, as they say, it's morphin' time. So, alright, enough. Let's get this review going with this figure out of package, and we will see what the contents is for this toy. Okay, guys, and here we have the White Ranger out of package, and he is an incredible figure and very nicely detailed on Bandai's part. So, well done, guys. But we do have a little bit of some cons to go through with the pros, so you'll just have to wait until I get to them. But they are coming. They are coming. Let's start off with pros. Scale-wise, he's great compared to the evil Lord Zed from Wave 2 as well, in which I've already reviewed this figure. If you ain't seen it, go watch it, because it's pretty good, even though the camera I used was pretty crappy. Still, an awesome figure compared to the White Ranger. It gives you a great sense of stop motion videos between the White Ranger versus Lord Zed, just like the good old days back in the 90s. So, what's another size comparisons? How about with Jason? Oh no, what's going on here? This isn't Photoshop. This is the actual scale. As you can see, my hands are moving, even behind them, see? This is not Photoshop, this is the real deal. This is the actual scale between the two. As you can see, Wave 1 definitely went out of scale come Wave 2. I don't know what it is, but I have heard rumors. Look at that. They are the same scale. Pretty much they are the same scale. So what happened here? How did it go from this to this? Well, the story is Bandai had a lot of emails that people were frustrated with the scale of these figures, because we pretty much got screwed. If you remember the Power Up video contest back in 2009 in September, if I recall, when they first announced the releasement of brand new Mighty Morphin Power Ranger figures alongside with the return of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers on television, the figures looked to be 5 inches. But no, we got screwed by Bandai because of Photoshop. They actually had these figures compared to the RPM figures in the background, and it pretty much made them look to the same scale. But when it turned out that these figures finally hit retailers and we saw them for the very first time, they were pretty small, and a lot of people were pretty pissed off. Believe it or not, that's what happened. Everybody was pissed off. The so-called issue went on and on and on for months on Ranger Board also. I cannot tell you how many times I went up there and a lot of people were complaining about the scale of these figures. They do not approve of the line being a G.I. Joe standard size. They think that they should have remained a 5-inch scale line like it's always been until now. So, Bandai, realizing that they made a huge mistake with these figures, decided to up their scale, not by much, but close enough to where you could actually have epic battle scenes with the Power Rangers, sorry about the shakiness, compared to, like, you know, Batman or any other figure that's about this scale. It's better. It is much better having a 4-inch scale figure than a 3-inch scale figure. But still, I mean, the scale between these two is official. And as you can see, it continued on with Power Rangers Samurai, and it's going to continue on. I seriously doubt, because of the way the economy is today, and to how many issues there's been with Bandai of America, that they are going to change the scale of the figures again. I believe that this will be, forevermore, the permanent scale for the Power Ranger figures beyond today. So, there's a little history, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that, but let's get back to the review. Okay guys, I have Super Legend White Ranger here for another size comparisons very quickly with the Mighty Morphin 2010 White Ranger. And as you can see, over 2 years, if I recall that's when he was released, 2 years later, he definitely had a change of scale, didn't he? Pretty much they look the same, but this is where we start off with the first con. The muscleness to this figure and the whole 2010 line. To me, it's okay. It's kind of cool because I like an animated style figure. I really do, with the small head, the big body, and so buff, so powerful, man. He even makes Scott Steiner look jealous. But still, to others out there, to a lot of people, they prefer this figure over this one, and believe it or not, I do as well, because let's face it, I mean, this is the epic White Ranger figure that everybody wanted, and it is 5 inches. It is a 5-inch figure. Perfect for stop motion videos compared with the RPM, Jungle Fury, and all the other Power Rangers of the past. It is a bit disappointing that White Ranger actually put on some weight alongside with some muscle. So, yeah. It's okay for me, but for you guys, you pretty much hate it. So I just thought I'd go through that. Okay, con number 2. That's right, let's just go through the cons. Con number 2. Yikes. Here we go again. Bandai of America's major problem with figures. When they're producing them, they don't even take the time to look at the backs. Instead, they take a look at the front of the figure and say, that's awesome. They don't even check for the flaw that they always have with leaving out the paint applications on the back. Believe it or not, with Wave 1, they actually did. Look at that. All the way around. No paint missing. But Wave 2, just like Lord Zed, they missed out on painting the back of the figures. Now, this is not something new. It's like I said, they've been doing this for years, for many years. It kind of makes me wonder who is checking these figures out during the final production stages. But seriously, dude, you need to be fired. Really. But why am I pointing that way? You need to be fired. You are simply lazy. They need to find somebody else that can actually take the time and the courtesy to look at the back of the figure and say, oh my goodness, we forgot to paint the back of the figure. Let's get him back in the stage line. But sadly though, they were running behind on these figures in Wave 2 pretty much, so they went along with it and said, screw it, let's just ship them out. And that's the story from what I believe on my side of the point. This is an embarrassment. So, is there anything actually good with this figure? I pretty much went through all the cons. Unless you want to consider the fact that, unlike the Super Legend figure, his shield, of course, as you can see, even though he's trying to fall on me, is removable. Just like the original Automorphine White Ranger figure back in the 90s, except this one's more durable. It won't break as easily as that very thin line shield that really, with the slightest tap, would crack. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Even at diamonds, that's pretty cool. I still like this figure, believe it or not. So his shield, on the other hand, it's his body. It's molded on. It's one whole piece of plastic for the upper body. So that's really disappointing. So you can't get that much articulation going up and back with the arms. Now in and out, it's, you know, it's not really hindered. That's pretty much as far as all the other Rangers go. So that's not a problem. I would have loved, believe it or not, I would have loved to see an actual removable shield on a close to 4-inch scale figure. That would have been kind of cool, believe it or not. And definitely it would have actually been a good scale with Jason, because I would love to see what he looks like with the tiger shield on rather than the dragon shield. That would have been cool, but they didn't do it. So, you know, you win a few, you lose a few, and to me, that's just kind of sad. So yeah, there's another con. So, okay, we went through the paint problem, we went through the scale problem, and pretty much the proportions of this figure, and we went through the molded on shield. So, is there anything good about this figure? Yes, there is. There actually is, believe it or not. Even though all the cons are finished, there's the pros. Alright, articulation. It's awesome. It's perfect for this scale of a figure. I mean, it's not G.I. Joe perfect, but really it's good enough. There's no difference in articulation except for when it comes to that molded on shield. Tommy has a few restrictions, but it's pretty much everything Jason has. So I really don't have to go into it, believe it or not. As some of you may wonder, since they changed the scale of the figures in Wave 2, is his weapon actually in scale with the figure? Believe it or not, this sword right here came with Wave 1 Jason, and it is a 5-inch scaled weapon with a 3-inch scale figure. I'll say that again. 5-inch scaled weapon with a 3-inch scaled figure. That is a load of crap. This is not. This is not. This is Saba, the Mighty Morphin 2010 version. And as you can see, this is an improvement. This is, believe it or not, a 3-inch scaled weapon for a 4-inch scaled figure. Which, believe it or not, it's perfect. It really is. And no, I am not fooling, guys. This is real. This is the real thing right here. This is the scale of the 2010 sword with the Super Legend sword. And as you can see, they are not the same. They are not. This one is really smaller compared to the Super Legend one. I've got them perfectly even. And as you can see, the blade extends out more on the Super Legend scaled version. And also, you would notice the peg also. So there, you can tell the difference. They didn't just repackage this sword with the 2010 White Ranger. So, be blessed, guys. Also, notice the difference with the silver a bit. This is actually a dull silver for the Super Legend Saba, when this one's actually more shiny. It's even got like that chrome feel to it. Even though I hate chrome, this actually looks pretty good. And I do prefer this color rather than dull color schemes for the weapons, and also black. I have nothing against black, but seriously, for a weapon? No, you don't do that. Why would you change the color of the weapon? It's always been like this color or a dull gray color, but they went black for Wave 1. I don't get it, and I may never get it. And let's take a look at Saba close up, shall we? As you can see, it's nice. All the detailing is there from the Super Legend sword. So, it's amazing what Bandai can actually replicate on something very, very small. Probably about the size of his shield from the Super Legend line. As you can see, yeah, pretty much. So it's amazing how much detail they can actually get on a figure and its weapons. But the painting, could be a little better, but I actually approve of this. This is nice. I love how it just shines in the light, unlike the Super Legend one, not that much. This is perfect. Perfect for a close to 4-inch scale figure. Alright. Here's pro number 2. For those who actually missed out on the 90s coin for the White Ranger, being the fact that we never got the actual symbol on his power coin, we got that fake tiger. You're covered. There you go. The actual tiger symbol that was on the show in Sentai as well, right here in the palm of my hand, or on my fingertips, right here. It came with this figure, but it's not actually a power coin. It's actually a disc launcher. What a shame. It's a disc that launches out from a morpher that comes with the Wave 2 figures of the female Rangers, which is none other than a molded piece of the power morpher, in which we never got with the 2010 line. So you guys, I don't know what you're thinking. Either this is a pro or a con, but to me this is actually a pro because of the symbol. It's not that fake tiger symbol, which is nice. But still, they could have just painted the whole thing gold rather than leaving some dull gray. What a shame. So yeah, believe it or not, that's really it for the pros. So there's a few cons and there's a few pros. And I guess I'll go ahead and give you my final thoughts on this figure. It just doesn't get better than this. I'm going to leave you guys with this one last pose right here with the White Ranger with the other 7 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Believe it or not, if you actually count Tommy's, then you have 7. So, it's true. There were not 6 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. There were actually 7. Because there was a change in color, but still, it was a color change. And by Rangers, we go by color. We don't go by character. We go by colors. So there are 7 Mighty Morphin Power Ranger figures in all. And here they are, all 7. And now, my Ranger team is finally, at last, completed. So, is this figure actually well worth it? Yes, he is. He is. Even though he's got his problems with the color in the back of him, this figure is truly a recommended figure. It is pretty hard to find. Unless you have a Rite Aid pharmacy or a Ross store, you are not going to find this figure in location. But if you check sites online, you'll find him. He's everywhere. On Amazon, from eBay, to even Ranger Board. Sadly though, he's pretty expensive. And I know a lot of you out there are getting pretty jealous with all those Ranger Board hauls with a lot of people having about 4 to 5 of this figure. I got pretty pissed off about that too, but don't let it get to you guys. This figure, so believe it or not, the closest that I've seen him cheap is $25 off of Amazon. Go for that. Unless you want to try your best bet at eBay, well then I wish you the best of luck, because they're usually auctions. They're not really buy it nows. Buy it nows can go up to 50, but Amazon is your best bet. So there you go, guys. That is the end review for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 2010 Wave 2 White Ranger. If you enjoyed this video and all my other video reviews, this is the one and only Red is Power / Sonic Ranger. Please rate, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Hopefully you will. And hopefully you guys actually enjoyed this video. And until next time, guys, take care, bye-bye, and thank you very much for watching. And with that, it's officially powered down time.